What did you think when you first read the screenplay?
I thought it was really kind of an unorthodox screenplay. I mean, some of the stuff, even in the beginning, there was another relationship that didn't make it into the film because it was a little distracting myself and another tribesman, and we kind of bond over chariot riding, and you know, it kind of adds for a little more dissension in my soldiers, and because I'm making pretty much friends with the enemy, and so it's just really interesting because you know Mark Eska doesn't come in till almost like the first act break, and that's very odd. For you know, if it's a two-hander, you think that he's going to be introduced a little earlier than that. Um, you know, there's no female romance, but you know, so it's a really simple movie in a lot of ways, but very subtly complicated at the same time. You know, the characters aren't very likable in a way, but somehow you still like them. You know, and you still want to root for both of them. And then Kevin really was the reason why I came to the film. I was beating on his door, and then finally, you know, I was going in for Eska, and I learned a Scottish accent and everything, and then in trying to find the pairing of the two people, I ended up sliding over into the Marcus spot, and you know, obviously we found Jamie, but I knew Kevin could do this movie. I mean, he does relationship movies so well.
Now, Marcus, your character, he's what's his quest? He's there on a real quest.
Yeah, I think he's there to prove something to himself and to find out. You know, he needs to know what happened to his father. He has to figure it out for his own sanity. I mean, he's been an outcast his entire life, and I think he has something to prove, or he'd rather die. He can't live with this. He can't just live not knowing and just live out the rest of his days not thinking that he did something or had any amount of solace.
It's a pretty physical role, and you did most of your own stunts, right?
Yeah, tried to do them all. They wouldn't let me do them all. There's a couple, just a couple scenes. One where we're basically riding. Oh no, sorry. We're going down the river. There's this part where Eska and I get swept away, and the river had rose about 3 feet because it was raining every day for 3 weeks, and it was pretty intense though. So they wouldn't let us do that, but I tried though. I gave it all I got, but then they were like, nope, insurance won't let you.
So what kind of training did you do to prepare?
I had ridden horses pretty much on and off my whole life, but swordplay I had done a little bit of during martial arts, but not to this degree and not this style. So both of those, I did chariot training and Roman legion like boot camp essentially, where we had to learn how to move and together and be able to do all that. We all did a bunch of different formation, you know, training, but we ended up just using testudo, and that generally is just used for defense. But we used it for an offensive maneuver because I don't think we've seen it in a film before.
The relationship between the two characters, Eska and Marcus, that's a pretty intense relationship. Can you discuss the dynamics and the evolution?
It'd be kind of like if you had an American soldier and an Al Qaeda soldier, and you put them together, and if they didn't kill each other immediately, you know, and you put them in a situation that they had to rely on each other to survive, and they get through it. I think that essentially these two people would end up understanding each other a little bit. I hope that they would, and I think that's what happens with me and Jamie. We do not understand each other, but I need him. I need him to be able to do this, you know, get what I need done and be able to survive over there. And I think that we both have a mutual respect for who we are, you know, as far as honor and respect and strong. But our values and our views on certain things could not be farther apart.
What about your take on acting, you and Jamie?
Acting, you know, Jamie really, I mean, he commits, man. I mean, he's so insanely smart and just witty, and he really does, he cares, and he really throws himself sort of into this sort of dissection of why, you know, Eska does what he does, and he really has incredible logic for things, and then, you know, he even just if we're on the back of horsebacks, like riding through, you know, a shot, and it's not really a lot of acting, we still figure out where we're coming from and how we would be doing it. It's not just like phoning it in. You know, he really cares.
Excellent.
Thanks, man.
Just